The flood had passed. The earth was new again. Noah's children and grandchildren spread across the land, carrying with them the memory of God's mercy and the hope of a brighter future. Years became decades. Families grew into tribes, and tribes became nations. The descendants of Noah multiplied greatly, filling the earth with life once more. At that time, all people spoke one language. They understood one another perfectly, sharing their dreams, their plans, and their ambitions. Their journey brought them to a vast plain called Shinar. It was fertile, beautiful, and full of promise. Here, they chose to settle together. As the people prospered, a bold idea began to grow in their hearts. They desired greatness, not for God's glory, but for their own. They discovered new ways to build. Brick by brick, they prepared for a project unlike anything the world had ever seen. The ground shook with activity as thousands worked together. A mighty city began to rise from the plain. But the city was not enough. They dreamed of a tower so tall that it would touch the heavens themselves. What began as cooperation slowly became pride. Their hearts turned from dependence on God to confidence in themselves. The tower climbed higher each day. The people celebrated their achievement, believing nothing could stop them now. The tower stretched toward the sky. Every new level seemed to bring them closer to their impossible dream. Babel became a symbol of power and success. Visitors marveled at its beauty and the determination of its people. The people said among themselves, "Let us make a name for ourselves." Their desire for glory grew stronger than their devotion to God. Higher and higher the tower rose. The builders looked down upon the earth and believed they were unstoppable. But nothing escapes the eyes of the Creator. From heaven, God saw the city and the tower mankind was building. United in purpose, humanity had begun to trust its own strength above all else. Pride was leading them down a dangerous path. The builders rejoiced. Songs filled the air as they admired the work of their hands. Yet unseen by them, the moment of divine intervention was drawing near. The Lord decided to act. The plans of humanity would not continue unchecked. As dark clouds gathered above Babel, the people remained unaware that everything was about to change. In a single moment, confusion swept through Babel. The people could no longer understand one another. Commands became mysteries. Conversations became noise. The great work came to a sudden halt. Where unity once existed, confusion now reigned. The city echoed with frustration and uncertainty. People gathered with those who spoke the same language. Friends and neighbors were forced apart. The tower stood unfinished, a silent monument to human pride and misplaced ambition. Groups journeyed in every direction, carrying new languages and cultures across the earth. Over time, communities became nations. The world grew diverse, just as God had intended. The name Babel became a reminder of the day human pride met divine wisdom. Though scattered across the earth, humanity remained under God's watchful care and sovereign plan. The story of Babel is more than the story of a tower. It is the story of the human heart. When people seek glory apart from God, their efforts ultimately fail. But when they walk in humility and obedience, they discover the purpose for which they were created. And so the ruins of Babel still whisper a timeless lesson. True greatness is found not in reaching heaven by our own strength, but in trusting the God who created the heavens and the earth.